looks organized. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rework. There's some parts to this track that are sounding like I need to fix it. So this is like the mixing and EQing of the track that I'm going to work on, or I've been working on for a while. So yeah, and before you even, like, if you're going to produce your own music, you sort of need to have all the parts organized, all the sections done, and everything sounds right before you put down the vocals. So it takes time. I don't think people realize how much time it takes to kind of put this together, but that's what we have here, is that it takes a reasonable track takes enough time for, I mean, if you do it by yourself, you don't necessarily need a team, but you need to know what you're doing, right? That's like the whole. So right now I'm assessing the situation, and I can hear, I'm busy like adjusting the sounds. And then the flute section is going to be the vocals. Maybe just two sections and then some flutes in there. There's a certain, the mastering needs to see, it's red, so I need to like lower. This is too loud right now. That should not be red. It should be like that. There's something on there that's too that's not good for your ears either. Where was that? I think it was. Something is up. Let me double check. it's not that section. Hold on. Goodness. It's here somewhere. There's this one note that's driving me nuts. That's right. So then it's definitely. Let's hear this part. Maybe it is this part. We're just seeing. No, we just played that. We want. Let's see. Oh, so frustrating. Oh. No, that's not it. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's here. Welcome in. Sorry, I'm busy editing this track because it needs some work. If you have any questions, just leave. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It takes a bit. This song has been taking me weeks to do, but the more you do it, I use this as practice session. The more you do it, the better you get. Even my husband always says, like he works in the TV and the social media, not social media, but TV industry and movie industry, that he's like always saying, if you don't practice your skill, you're going to lose the technical side of things. So that's where I find doing the lives on here like useful, is that it actually helps me kind of keep going with it. So that's where we are right now. Apologies for not seeing. Sorry, my back was turned. But feel free if you have. I don't know the name of the song. I was going to call it like anime 2046. But I'm still debating. I don't know what it's called. I have no idea what I'm going to call it. So we're still looking into the idea. Yeah. And it takes time, eh? There's this one part that's driving me bananas, though. Sorry, if you're looking at this and thinking, why is she looking at the screen? I'm busy editing my track. Because I think there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. It sounds complete, but I know it's not complete. And then later on I have to put in vocals. I was going to use some Japanese. Just some sections. I wasn't going to do like a whole bunch, but just a little bit. But I want to make sure it's all done, before I put the vocals on. So you always have to mix and master and EQ it. So this this is where I am right now, is like I'm trying to balance out the sounds. Not just balance out the sounds, but there are some notes that sound slightly in the wrong place. So I'm busy working through this right now. I just need to find the section. Where's the section that's... No, that's not it. Dang it. Okay. Somewhere here. Sorry, give me a second, folks. If you have any questions, just, I wish I could just, I can't bring, the thing is, when I bring the screen over here, it's going to be hard for people to see what I'm doing and they're just talking to me. And there's no space. So I have to find ways to kind of utilize the space. I have my own little Rhodes mic on and then all these other things going on. Can you put a lines? Oh. So I'm going to be, this will be the first time. I have tracks that I've sung on before. I do have a voice. I don't have like the bestest voice, but I was going to incorporate like some nihongo, which is like some Japanese, into the track, because I feel, you know, I lived in Japan for 9 years, and I feel like because I lived there for so long, I sort of have to find a way to incorporate the Japanese into my lifestyle. So I thought this would be like a good way to kind of like utilize a little bit of Japanese just to practice. So that's my initial plan for the track, is to actually incorporate a little bit of Nihongo and then go back into relearning a little bit of Japanese, because it's something I've kind of lost over the years. That's where I am right now with the singing. So I'm not necessarily going to, I could later on, but this track specifically is going to be for me to sing, because I always have other people singing stuff. So I'm just like, this is now my time to kind of make it happen, right? So yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's do this over again. There's a section over here. The volume is not, the volume is not, like, let me just see. Where is this section? It's driving me absolutely bananas. Give me a moment, guys. I'm sorry if it just... There. Maybe just play it over. I just need to figure out where I put it. Where is it? Where is it? It can't be this section. There's hardly no way. It's just a one-liner. So where is this one-liner that we're having a problem? I don't know where it is. This is driving me bananas. Okay, wait, hold on. It's like I know what I played, but just to get that little crazy part over there. I think it's here. I think it's this part. Let me just see. I was here just now. Let me just double check here. Oh my gosh. Nope. Yeah, it's that part. I'm okay. I found it. So now I need to figure out how to get this thing resolved. Okay, so it's there. There. Okay, where are we now? Okay, so let me just start here. Sorry guys, if it sounds like I'm trying to edit, I am. Okay, yeah, that's it. This is bothering me. I have to get this. Okay, let's try this. I wish I could slow this down. Maybe if I play it over here, I don't know. Do something absolutely bananas, but I'm going to play over that so I can catch where it is. Hold on a second. Sorry, this takes concentration. Apologies. This is actually a demonstration. This is like I'm demonstrating what I do, but I'm actually a music instructor, so if you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff, I have a full-on tutorial, like a collection of videos that I've done for the past year on how to construct like music production from scratch, to music theory. Well, you start with music theory and then you shift over to music composition, and then from there you understand like how the beginnings of production actually start and where you begin. With not very expensive equipment, mind you. You should start with like simple things like your phone or your iPad. The iPad works because it has all the basic instruments if you really want to learn how to do it. So I'm down. This is like a demonstration. This is not like, I don't put, the music industry is having a bit of a palaver, as you would say right now, where a lot of musicians are shifting from Spotify off of those platforms and then creating their own platforms. So I've never really jumped into that. My sister has, because she works with producers, but as somebody who likes to produce music, I was hesitant. So I've sort of done it my own way, if that makes any sense. Yeah, okay, so wait. Okay, hold on. We gotta get that. We got. Oh, I don't know. Should I do it? Record. Let me just. Okay, one more time before I record it. Let me just. Oh gosh. Okay, I am gonna record it. Okay. So we're gonna start from here. Is it on the right one? Okay. Let's see what we did here, and then I'll take out the parts that I don't need. Okay. Sounds a bit better. Okay, so now I need to figure out where. Okay. Okay. So put that on silent. Okay. Now we see where we missed out these sections. Okay. Hold on. Maybe I just fixed it without doing much more. Interesting. Okay, hold on. So I'm busy editing the track. This is the hard work behind it, and in most cases, when you work with producers, they will charge a hefty amount of money because it takes many years to understand where to take in and take out parts, how long it took to get to this part of production. That's a whole different story. So this is not just an imagination. This is something that I personally have been working on since I'm 46 years old. I've been working on this since I was I learned how to compose at the age of 5 or 6. When I lived in Japan, we didn't have technology like basically, I don't know, there was probably software, but I like learned on a piano, and we didn't have like the internet. So when we learned to compose music, say for instance you wanted to learn something, you had to play by ear. So you had to use a different type of way of working on music than you do now. Like the younger generation has the privilege. You guys are privileged to have things that we did not have. So we had to work double hard, triple harder than people who are doing it right now. It's a lot easier to produce music now than it was before. And I've been producing music since 1998. So that's where I am right now in my world of production. I think I did fix it. That's cool. Okay. Okay, it didn't even take that much. Okay, so let's go back to this and see what I've done. Okay, I'm going to play the whole thing. If you have any questions on classes, or you want to learn how to do this stuff by yourself independently, then I have full courses set up for this particular thing. You can look below if you're interested to see what's going on. Put the lines on. Yeah, no. So yeah, okay. Okay, so let's start over again and see what we got here. Okay, so this is still work in progress. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna add a beat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use GarageBand. I use GarageBand to use like the loops because GarageBand. This is Logic Pro X over here. GarageBand and Logic Pro X work hand in hand because both are owned by Apple, right? So that's why the two of them kind of like are in sync. So yeah, I think there was another DAW that I was using back in 1998, but it wasn't as like it was a lot harder to use the softwares like the DAWs. Now it's totally different. Everything's like easy to do, right? Anybody can literally just produce. But I think the technical skill comes in like the quality of the composition. Like if you don't have the quality of the composition to understand like how to put a real solid song together, I think the song in general as a whole will just collapse. So I teach I teach like how to construct like a proper song from like ground zero, and you can look at all the other videos that I have. I have playlists, and there's a playlist for music production. So I go from music theory to like a general concept of how to construct a basic song, and then we go into beats and all those things. So that's what I do. Okay, and then you can listen to my like they're almost completed pieces on SoundCloud. I don't like to kind of like send my stuff to different places because I get like SoundCloud I've used from day one ever since they first came out. So I'm a SoundClouder, as you would say. I also had a MySpace. I don't know if anybody knows MySpace, but I used to use MySpace back in the day before Facebook and all these other apps. Okay. So let's find, I'm gonna go in here. I need to find another, like I feel like we need something else here. It feels, what was this? Was this the, what was this? Oh yeah. I transfer, okay, good. I transferred this. I just need to see what we have here. 486 BPM. 86, okay, 4. Perfect. You always have to remember, if you're going to create a beat on top of another beats and then the track is already constructed, you need to make sure that you have the, so this you can find this on, oh yeah, it's backwards right now. I can't necessarily show you how to do this. It's backwards, so I'm gonna have to just speak it out. The settings, when you get into GarageBand, there's a settings section. It has like that little wheel, and it gives you tempo, time signature, key signature, and then, oh, this should actually be A minor. A minor? Was it A flat minor or A? Oh, E flat minor, sorry. E flat minor. So make sure when you're kind of like playing around with both, make sure that they're set up to work with each other. Like if one is in C major and then the other one is in A minor, it's gonna have like a strange sound to it. So you have to make sure they're both identical in how it's set up at the intro, at the beginning with the settings. Okay. So let's see what I can find with the loops. Horrible. Nope. Let's see some more drum and bass. Drum and bass. No. It doesn't have anything. Drums. Oh, let's just go all drums. Electronic drums. Yeah, electronic. I guess it's electronic. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, since I have it on here, I transferred that, not the new version, but the old version on here. I could technically, oh, I think I have something very similar, so no, never mind, that's not going to work. Let's go into, no, I can make my own loops and stuff. I'm trying to find, kind of like that. It has like a little bit of an Indonesian sound. Let me see. I'm gonna just put this. I'm gonna just, oh, sherbets. Okay, I'm gonna just put that. Okay, and then you drag it over, right? Okay, now I don't know why I did that. And what happened to the actual section? I don't know. That's interesting. Let's start over again. I had it on the wrong section. Bells. There. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Hold on. So that's, okay. So let's do this quickly. I don't know, I'm gonna play with the RG. See, if it doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound right. That's in a completely different key. Okay, so we have to still keep it. So that doesn't work. So you have to, when you're analyzing the piece and you're trying to add more sections, and you need to listen to the whole thing and kind of like assess it, right? Some things will just not work. And why do we have instruments? I thought we just wanted drums here. What the heck? Sorry. It's giving me, not drums, it's giving me other stuff. It sounds kind of interesting. I like that. Okay, I'm going to just play that in the background. And then if I want to transfer it, I will. I actually like the sounds on here than I do on Logic. These are a little bit more updated. I mean, I guess you can have them updated on here, but it's easier to maneuver those. That could work. Okay, let me play around a little bit more. Okay. So this is how you use, I personally think this like GarageBand is a lot easier to use to create loops. So some of the loops, most of them I use the piano for. Like I created my own bass. The only part that's GarageBand on here is the drum section. But everything else I did manually with the keyboard, if that makes any sense. Okay. Oh, it's very loud. I don't think that's gonna work now. Maybe I shouldn't touch it. I don't know. Let's see. Record that, but I don't want, let's go into this part right here. I can delete this, delete that. Okay, so technically, I mean, we don't need this one. Yeah, we're not gonna use that. Definitely not. Oh no, I don't want that. No. And the next question is, why is it so bars? I don't need. Let's do manual 40, 50. Let's just use that for now. 50 bars. So you can alter that. So that was just a big, good old disaster there. Hi, Dior. You want dinner? Not yet. I'll give you food just now. Okay? You want to sit here? Sit here. Come. Come join me over here. Come sit down. I'll feed you just now. You've had so much food today. Come on. Come sit up here. Come. You can sit up here. Don't chew my stuff, please. Do not start chewing. No, don't start chewing. No, don't. I know you. You want to chew everything when you don't get what you want. No. I'm not going to let you do that. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you, sir. Do not chew my stuff. No. Wait until you're ready for. I'm not ready to feed you yet. Just wait. Okay? Thank you. For baby. Special cases. Special cases. He only wants. Okay, so let me do this over again. I'm going to. I guess that was the original one, right? So let's do. I don't know. This is the whole thing, is you need to really think through this. It's not like an overnighter thing. That sounds like the one that I almost used. It makes life easier when you do it from here. I mean, I can do it on here, but the music sounds are like not, I think these are more updated. They always get updated faster. Ooh, I like that. That's really fast. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay, so that's what I want. Where is it? Okay, so I'm going to record that. I'm going to record that. Start over again. I don't know what this is. Just need to get rid of this part. Delete. Don't need this anymore. I think this was the original layer to this track. I'm just deleting it. So I can just add that new part and then send it over. So I'm going to transfer that beat over to my Logic, which is very doable. It's not hard to do at all. It just takes a moment. And this is why producers charge. They charge over $100 to $150 over. Like most people now are charging like $200 per hour. Okay, so the question is, do you want to spend that money or do you want to learn how to do it yourself? It's obviously going to be cheaper, but it takes more time to build up your equipment to do it on your own, right? And I know everybody talks about this AI music, and I play around with it, but I've honestly heard the difference with a human creating the track versus the AI creating the track, and I can tell you something right now. I still think there is quality when you create the music yourself. There's just a different element. I mean, you can take and pick from other people. That's why I don't have my stuff on other platforms, for that reason, because AI came around and they're taking music from all over the place. I'm like, unique is good. Always try to be original, because the moment you're original, it's hard to kind of pick up on. That's how it works. Okay, where is this thing? Okay. So I'm gonna just record that. Oh, no. Stop. No, that's not what I want. Oh, come on. Delete. Come on. Why is it not deleting now? Stupid thing. Just delete the damn thing. Why is this? And then technology can give you a headache. So, you know, you have to be patient. Last week I was testing out how to put together like a simpler version of the studio, but I found that there are a couple of things you need to like do to make it kind of work. First of all, you need stuff to play with, but then they're always, you know, that's why you have sound engineers, or you become your own sound engineer to put everything together. So I do everything myself. Eh? Like, I don't expect to. I mean, I was doing this for schools. I was putting together shows and performances, and I did something for Big Brother Africa at one point. Nothing too serious. I lived in South Africa. That's why I know the music industry there. So it's just I don't technically deal with them. My sister's in the industry in South Africa. It is what it is. 'Tis what it is. Okay, back to this. I don't want that stupid thing. Okay, so we're gonna just. No, I don't want you. Okay, so I'm just gonna record a little bit. I'm gonna transfer it over. So let's see what we have here. So that records this. That records this if you're interested or curious. You can see it as a, where is it? Oh yeah, that is the format. So that's what you'd usually see it as, like those things over there, those waves, the sound waves. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer this. What I generally do is okay, so this is how you do it. If you need to know how to do this, this is how you do it. Go on to, okay, once you get, I don't know the name, this is just a beat. Then you share. Am I gonna share it? Yeah. Song, it's just, I call it a song. I mean, it's like, I'm not gonna send it to a ringtone. Then I send it to my, I could send it as a file, but no, I'm gonna send it to myself. Okay, and then in the message I just transfer it over to my email, and that's how I do it. I mean, I'm sure there's a quicker way, but that's how I do it. And it's secure, which is important. I think being secure in, yeah, okay, share, okay. Okay, and then now, you heard that, right? Okay. And we go back into here. It was sent back to me. Then I send it, I open it. And then, no, okay, what was I gonna do? No. We're gonna, see, can I send it over to my, there usually is another way to do this. This is always going to be complicated. Let's give this a try. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to have to. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it bounces back, which is not great. Okay. So. Okay. I think that's been sent to my email. Give me 2 seconds. And that, from there, you can open that over at your email, and then you just transfer it as just an MP4. You could do MP3, but MP4 is more like raw, I suppose. Email. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So these are like the little, yeah, I sent it to me, so it was sent over. And then, hold on a second, so I need to do, send it over as an MP4. Oh, no, I can't do that silly name. Okay, don't switch, silly thing. Okay, so I guess I'll just download it. Can you hear that? Okay, so it was sent over. So we're gonna download it. Okay, and then we're going to find it from the downloads. And then that sends over to, where is it now? Desktop, downloads. I gather this is it. Okay, and then close that, close that. And then let me just see quickly. Okay. That is that indeed. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but let's just theoretically say, technically say, we're going to just drag it over. I know there's like a little part that we don't need, like here. So I'm going to just snip it. Okay. Now, what you can do with these is once you finish and you have enough, you can make like, you have consistent loops, so you can copy and paste like endlessly, and then you can take them out. I find that when you take out parts of the sections, basically, it kind of gives you a better, cleaner approach to the track. But let's hear it anyway. That sounds pretty cool. Okay, and then what's nice about this is if you want like heavier sections with that section, like this beat, you can have it in certain parts. And because I didn't make it a whole loop like I did the first one, like I made this into 3 different sections. This is shorter, so you can take those out wherever you want to. Okay, we'll do an example. We'll use, this is an example day. This is like, so I'm gonna just hold on a second. Let me just see quickly what's going on here. Okay, so I need to just skip it here. Can we just see? Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy and paste the sections now that I've gotten that. So everything is in order. Copy and paste time. Copy, and there is a, I think there's a certain way to make sure when you're copy and pasting that it's on the one that you want to do, because you don't want to copy and paste and place it on another track section. That would be, oh gosh, that would be disastrous. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're going to copy and paste exactly where it's going to be, like that, and then you can take it out accordingly. Paste, where's the paste? Paste, paste, paste. I'm going to just fill it in, and then I'll take out where I don't think it needs to be, which fills up the space with a little bit more of an interesting beat, which is kind of nice. So yeah, my channel's about like creating either a space or learning how to, like, I make soundproofing, so I use tools, I construct things. I studied the arts, I studied fine arts for my bachelor's and master's, and the music has always been part of my life, but it wasn't necessarily something I knew how to do this. I was doing it for many, many years, so I didn't feel as if I needed that degree for the music, but the art for me was important because it taught me how to create things with tools. So I'm like a DIY person, like I build things myself. So I built the soundproofing, I created this, I added this to the, so there are a lot of things that I know how to do. I can build stuff. That's something you can't do in, like, they don't teach you that kind of stuff in music university. My sister went to the music university and she never learned how to build something. Like, I don't think she can't even pick up a brush and say I can paint. So I think it's important to know multiple skills. That's the point. Like, I think in most of the industries expect you to focus on one. I sort of kind of jumped around because I knew that if I'm going to build a business, you have to have skills in multiple areas to make it work if you're going to do it independently. Now, I lived in 5 different countries, and I knew that I'm not going to have like a team of people because I'm going to have to just take myself to different parts of the world, which is where I ended up in the States. and start over again. So I'm starting over again, but at least I have skills so I can start over again. Right? That's like important. Yes. Okay. Let's do another copy and paste. Can I paste? Oh, I've already pasted already. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see what we have here. So I can technically take this out. So this is how it sounds. Like you can just play around with it. But it doesn't have some sections you can have busy sections and other parts you don't need busy. Oh, there's a hi-hat there. I didn't notice that. Yeah, so you have to be very delicate with this. I don't think I need that all over the place. So I'm gonna separate it. One without, one with, one without, one with. Okay, so we can play around and see what we got here. Okay, and if it's too busy, you just have like a few of them and you should be good. Okay, there's a hi-hat there and a cymbal that I was like, where did that come from? I didn't even notice it. So, okay, let's see. See, that doesn't sound like it's in the right place. So we're going to, I think it's supposed to be here. No? No? It doesn't sound right. Okay, wait. That's another thing you have to think about. Okay, you can probably move it around like that. Okay, let's see. Ugh, no, don't like that. Okay, that needs to be. And why I don't like that, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. That should be right though, hey? That should be right. Let's just try that again. Okay, then you know it's not right. Okay. So maybe just use a couple of them that sound like it's in the right place, right? Okay. Let's move it just a notch. Can I move it? Oh gosh. Let's see. that's why having parts is good. So that's just a general idea of how to create. If you're going to use like beats in your track, I think it's easier to use the iPad or the phone to come up with some ideas because the loops are really good on there, and then send those loops over to Logic. And I have a whole video on how to send the loops over to Logic on my channel. I think I don't know. I might have to change some of the thumbnails, but the information is quite thorough. I have over 1,000 and something videos. A lot of them are shorts, and then some of them are lives, and the others are actually just like long form video that are not lives. But the lives are useful because I think a lot of people are curious to see how it's done live. Yeah, so my channel basically has a whole bunch of things for music, a whole bunch of things of how to construct a business, what it feels like to travel in different parts of the world. So there's a lot of stuff. And then I think I brought up briefly about the education systems around the world. They're all different. They don't teach the same stuff in schools. Like, I can tell you for sure they don't. They go off of a different like formula and a format and a curriculum and courses, and students are taught differently. And mannerisms are different, and behavior is different. Everything is different. Every part of the world is always just different. So it's an interesting, balanced kind of channel. I don't just focus on one thing. I know a lot of people are very interested in like the music stuff because I know that this is like forever type of understanding. But there's also the side to my channel that I find important, which is like learning about different cultures around the world. So I'm gonna have like a lot more videos on different parts of the world, which I think is kind of like, it's like a little bit of a history class, like a world history through textiles and music, because in theory the real art world is the world history. I mean, we didn't always have books around the world, right? Books were like a Western perspective thing, but in many parts of the world, they had things like textiles that had to be handed over to people to have conversations to decide where they're going to meet and all those kind of things. And craft, and that was my field. I studied the arts. So for me, it is still important to incorporate the art side of things because that was like, I did my master's in it, and I feel like there's like an importance to explain that that's part of the process. I mean, if I didn't do the arts, I would not have made my own soundproofing. I make it myself. I mean, I know how to use a circular saw and an angle grinder and blow torches. It's just, I still have my fingers, so obviously I graduated. If I didn't graduate, I probably would have lost all my fingers from class because, and I've seen it happen before. It was not fun. I was like, why are you need to put the wood in, guys, you put the wood in there before you, yeah. It was a very interesting class when people realize that their hand is a little too close. So, it's... Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. So I'm just going to recap this because I just needed a few clips of that section, I think. So my opinion with music is, no, you do not need a degree in music, but you do need to understand the basics of music to figure this stuff out. I don't necessarily think you need a degree as long as you know how to put it together on your own, and you have your own, like, if you're like a focused person and you're willing to learn on your own, that's the key. That is how to make it happen. It's the structure. I don't know if this is working. Sounds I'm sure you guys can hear it slightly off, right? There's like an off. Let's see, did I just blotch it again? It has to be exact or else it's like a problem. That's right. I don't know. I have to double check. And it's off again. So sometimes when you're doing like the loops, it's not going to be perfect. So this is why you need to know like how everything's going. Yeah, there's like a little section over here. It's just not perfect. It's just, it sounds a millisecond off. Maybe if I just, I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Okay, let's see. If I just move that up, let's see. It's like you can totally hear it, and then all of a sudden it's just kind of like, oh my goodness. And then maybe one at the end. Okay, I need to feed my fur baby or he is going to go bananas. I'll be right back. If you have any questions, feel free to just drop them on there. I'll be 2 seconds. What I'll do is I'll put the music on and you guys can listen to that while I organize my fur baby. My fur baby. Okay. I'll just put it in a loop so you guys can hear it. I'll be back. Okay, I'm gonna feed you next. This is a great mic. It's a Rode mic. I just found out this is like $60. It's a good mic. That part I'm looking at. Hope you're enjoying it. Let's feed my fur baby. That was weird. Okay. Nervous. That made me a little nervous. What happened there? Okay. Let's go back to this little part over here. Hold on. So if you have any questions on production, I have 43 years of music education. I just didn't go do my master's or my bachelor's in music because I had all that education in music, and I'm self-motivated, and I think music is generally, and I used my music for my master's exhibition. So if that makes any sense, why I chose art over music is only because I think it was more creative, and now I know how to build my own, like if I need to build my own studio, I can build my own studio from scratch. Something I probably would never have learned how to do for a lower cost if I had studied music production and music education. Like I studied music education, obviously I had my grades and my examinations and I did the formal training, but I rebelled and I said I'm going to do the art, so I did the art instead. So that's what this is basically. Is I now can do everything like I can put everything together, like visually and then with the sound as well. So it's all connected. It's just, yeah. So for my master's, I composed a piece and I performed it with a band that I brought together, which you can find on my SoundCloud. It's there. So I can, like the same thing you do for a music master's degree. You're composing a piece. Like the music master degree, you basically compose a piece and you perform it, and then you like deconstruct it. That's basically what I did for my arts. So I kind of shifted her. I was like reversed. It's basic. It's the same thing. It's just a little bit different. That's all. Okay, I think that's good. I think I fixed that little section. There's a. Oh. where's the that needs to go. I don't know. I think it's too busy. The first one was okay. I might have to do something more. I'll figure it out. We'll add some more to something. You can do that on here as well. Almost the same sounds. Almost the same sounds, but I seriously think that, let me see, percussion, let's do all drums. We can go on here. I just wanted to test it out on there, but same thing, it's just, the beat's gonna be a bit different. Or you can do it by hand. I mean, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, there are lots of different ways to do this. Oh, I like that. It's kind of cool. Oh, gosh, that's awesome. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's... Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm going to put that in just so that I have it. So we're going to do it a different way now. We're going to transfer... We're going to make another section here. Okay, so I'm going to just add some loopy ideas and see what we can work with next. Because I think it needs more. I don't think it has enough right now. Oh, that's kind of cool too. Okay, wait. That's very nice. I likey. Okay, so I'm gonna just create the sounds. We'll work on the sections right now, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, sometimes you have to kind of come up with a piece and then add sections in. That's basically how. If I had a drum set, I'd probably be doing my own little drum sections. But I don't even have a drum set right now. That would be my next goal, to get an electric drum kit. I haven't worked on drums in forever. Just a basic 80s beat. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, that's kind of cool. So we're gonna just mix it up here. Okay, so I'm gonna add those parts next. Oops. Okay. Some addition connections. I guess. Okay. So let's start with this. I'm gonna just create the parts over now. There. Okay. So I'm gonna copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and paste. I know there's like control something, but we're gonna just do it the copy and paste way, because then I have more control and then my fingers don't accidentally touch the wrong note, not note, keypad section, a key on the, yeah. Okay, and then we'll take out whatever we don't need. But that adds, it fills it up a little bit more, which is kind of cool. So you can do it two different ways. You can get it from GarageBand and then transfer it over if there's a song, a part that you really like that's not found on Logic, or you can go this way and just go straight through Logic and play around with it. So if you didn't know, now you know. And the GarageBand on your phone and the GarageBand you have on your iPad is the same. Just you gotta just keep updating. But that it's basically, you can download the parts too. So there's accessibility for downloading sounds like sound. What is it called? Beats, but also sounds from different musicians that kind of brought it together. Yeah, so I was a bit of a rebel. I probably had plenty of opportunities to do the music, but I chose art because now I'm in control and I don't have anybody like telling me what to do. So that's the benefits of not doing the music degree. You rebel and do it against like everybody else. Like, but you were. I was like, no, I'll do it my way. So I did it my way. I always do it my way. I always do it my way. And you know what? Sometimes you're better for it, because I think it's important to be a little bit more astute with how the music industry works. I know how the music industry works. I've been there. I've seen it. I've been involved. It was just too much of a headache for me. So I am now doing my own thing. That's how it's done. Uh, Copy, paste again, and then we'll just take out as we did before. And then some Japanese vocals somewhere in the sections. Maybe just a little bit. It doesn't even need to be like a ton. I think sometimes when you're dealing with music, everybody tries to overdo the vocals, and sometimes, like for me, I'm not like a real like solid vocalist. I'm more a composer, production, producer person. So I think it just depends on, like, my sister would validate and say, oh no, you have to have like a full on melody harmony. But sometimes in house music and in tracks that they have for clubs, you only hear like small sections of vocals. So I don't think you need a whole ton of vocals. I mean, I think it's okay to be minimalistic, as you would say, right? In the arts, you would say that too. Okay, so let me just go back, and then I'll take out the parts that we don't need here. So we're going to go down here and copy and paste, but that sounded pretty cool to me. I liked what all of them sounded like together. That was kind of a nice little surprise. Okay, copy, paste. Just had to make sure it was in the right place. I remember when I was living in South Africa, like most of the music industry is made out of guys, eh? I mean, producers. I mean, you have female vocalists and people going into recording studios that are females who are very successful, famous singers and all that stuff. But most of the industry is run there by males. And as a female producer, what the heck? I was sort of looked down upon because they were like, how did she learn how to do this stuff? In the meantime, I learned how to produce in 1998 in South Africa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was complicated. So being back in the States for me gives me my space and my time, and I don't have to stress out about the guys that I had to deal with in the industry that were always complaining about something. So yeah, I'm happier being in the States doing it on my own rather than having to deal with an industry that was mainly predominantly in South Africa, guy run, right? It was run by guys. So yeah, that's my whole take on that perspective. Is that I thought as a female you need to stand up and do what you have to do. So I left, and I think I'm in a better place now. South Africa's cool, hey, but there's like there are also restrictions there. People always expect you to be like a singer as a female. So when you do something like me, like out of the like loophole that people don't like get, I mean they get it, but they don't. They're like, why is she producing and why can't we have the equipment? I was like, did you learn all this stuff, or are you guys just like experimenting? Hold on, there's lots of stuff going on here. Okay, we'll just take out the sections. Let's lower it first to see where we are. Okay, so what we need to do is, what's this part? So we're going to take that out first. Okay, so we're going to add, this is how we play around with, oops. Oh, no, I didn't want the whole thing undone. Oh, come on, help me. I'll edit, undo, delete. That's not how I wanted it to be. One section. Okay, there we go. Like that. And then like this. It's a little bit more work, but you can play around with it and then decide how to do it. Which is kind of cool. Okay. Let's leave those two there and see what that sounds like. Warm. So yeah, the male dominance in South Africa was a little much. I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. So I left. I was like, I'm not going to be told what to do by the guys. So I will do it elsewhere. Okay. there still. But I'm going to leave that there so I can decide what to do later. Okay, let's see if there's another sound I can use here. I got some African beats there, that's cool. I do miss having a drum kit so I can play around with it, but it is easier to have it in here sometimes. Just beats. So you can... It's very 80s. Indeed, that is not playing. I didn't think that was. That was so interesting. Okay. That's what I thought was weird. Well, I guess it was probably not downloaded. I don't know. I'm going to save this for now. Sorry, folks. When I'm busy on something, I'm generally focused this direction because I want to focus, I guess. That's like the whole thing. Oh, that's just... I hope it worked. Okay, one more time before I... Yeah, that's there. That one isn't though. Okay. So file save, I think, and then I think now that I'm getting closer, I might do the... I don't know why it's giving. Okay, I might do the lyrics next. So I have to think about the actual lyrics. I don't know how much of the lyrics I'm going to do. But that's generally what's going on here. So thank you for popping over. I don't know the situation. And yeah, so that's a bit of my backstory, is that I lived in South Africa. I was around producers predominantly in the industry, and they were mainly guys. So I felt a little bit like they were kind of like a bit, let's just say the music industry is complex. So I started I came back to the States because I wanted to do this on my own, and that's where I am right now. So I'm back in the States. Thank you again for popping over. I think I've been on here since like 3 something. If you have any questions, you can always go check out uh, my playlist, specifically since people love to hear the music production side of things. I guess that's what it is. The playlist is below, or you can go onto my channel for the front on the main page, and then to the right you can actually find a bunch of playlists. I don't just do music, I do like more than one thing. So, and I'm pretty basically I've learned multiple skills. I have a fur baby, but I have like a fur baby, but I don't have like a kid. Like I'm 46. So I've had the time and the chance to actually build this like together and then separately. Like I learned all my skills in different fields at different times in my life, and I've just been using them my whole time. So that's where I am right now. Thank you for popping over. I hope that if there is something you're interested in, just send a message to me on here, or there's an email on my SoundCloud if you want to like reach out and ask me questions. But I generally deal with like course structures because that is what I do. I was teaching music at Guitar Center and a whole bunch of other places, and that's where I am right now. Okay, thank you again, and I will speak to you guys next week. Have a good one.